Can I go tell my mom something real quick?
Okay, we will now convene into open session. The time is now 6:59, so please rise for our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, indivisible.
Thank you so much. We'd like to recognize second grader Ruby Whitman and her parents from Rockbrook Elementary. Give her a round of applause. So cute. Thank you, Ruby. Well, tonight, unfortunately, is Ms. Sheffield's last board meeting. She's decided not to run for a second term, so we appreciate your service, Ms. Sheffield, your 6 years of service that you've served on our board. I think we've all told you before how much we appreciate you and the service you've given and dedication for the staff and teachers and the students of LISD. So I'd like to give you just a few minutes and say a few words.
Well, thank you so much. It has really been a true pleasure and honor to serve. I'm not good at this kind of stuff. You know, there's a saying that says, you know, the closer you get to public education, the better it looks. And I will say that is just so true. And when I first joined the board 6 years ago, I loved our schools. You know, I didn't run because I was upset about something. I was just a real proponent for them and felt I could lend a positive voice. And but as I got closer to it and I learned more, I developed such a deeper respect for the things that our educators do every single day. I'm such a crybaby. But truly the work that's put in is just amazing. And we are so blessed in this district to have just a wonderful superintendent and a leadership team that just works every day to do what's best for kids. And our administrators and our teachers are doing the same thing. And so I think that's the one thing that I walk away with. It was just such regard for the people that serve. And so just being a part of that in just some small little way has been just a privilege. And so thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Sheffield. Okay, well, welcome, everybody. So the meetings of the board are open to the public, but are not meetings of the public. The Lewisville ISD Board of Trustees meets monthly in a regular meeting to receive reports from staff and take action on recommendations from the superintendent. The board receives the agenda and all supporting documents approximately 10 days in advance of regular meetings, which allow us to ask and receive questions to many of our questions in advance of regular meeting. In addition, the board is conducting work sessions where staff presentations are given for many of the agenda items. This change in protocol means lengthy discussion or litany of questions on every agenda item of the agenda often is not necessary, and as a board, we should have appropriate knowledge and preparation for responses regarding the content of the meeting tonight. So please note, agenda item J3 has been pulled from this evening's agenda. So consideration on items discussed in closed session on personnel recommendations. Would someone like to make a motion?
Ms. Cox, I move that all personnel recommendations be approved as presented by administration.
That's a motion by Ms. Prosnick. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? 7-0, motion carries. Teacher contract recommendations for the school year 2018-19. Would someone like to make a motion?
I move that teacher contract recommendations for school year 2018-2019 be approved as presented by administration.
The motion by Ms. Timish. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Hassett. All in favor? 7-0, motion carries. Recognitions tonight. Miss Amanda Brim, Chief Communications Officer, will share us this month's recognitions.
This school year, 2 Lewisville ISD middle school bands earned once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to perform in very prestigious conferences. Directed by Rylan Guidry, the Arbor Creek Middle School Band performed as the featured ensemble at the Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic in Chicago. To achieve this accomplishment, ACMS submitted a tape submission. After a 4-step judging process and then consideration at the highest level, the band was selected as one of 3 middle school bands out of 300 entries to perform at the International Clinic. The Midwest Clinic not only features performances by outstanding organizations and brings international music directors into contact with the best published music, but the clinic also shares new and established teaching techniques and the latest products and services for music educators. Directed by Robert Chilton, the Killian Middle School Band performed as the Texas Music Education Association's honor band at the TMEA convention in February. Killian's TMEA honor band was selected after advancing through region, area, and then earning top honors at the state level. The TMEA honor band was created because many educators believed that through the process of hearing and observing the results of quality teaching, directors could develop their own instructional skills to a higher level. In addition, selection of an honor band recognizes community and school systems that successfully support music and education through their instrumental music programs. Congratulations to both bands, and thank you for representing not only your school, but our district's amazing fine arts at the state and international levels.
Good evening. Thanks for having us. I'd like to introduce everybody on stage. This is Assistant Band Director Mr. Alex Castro, and our other Assistant Band Director, Miss Sarah Dembski. And then we have some awesome 8th grade band students up here, Skylar Bowman, and then next to her is Casey Ivanoff, Ricky Boudreau, Parker Freeberg, Ian Boggs, and Sean Simpson. Give them a round of applause. And we'd like to recognize their parents, if all the parents of these students can stand up too. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rob Chilton. We're honored and humbled to be in front of you tonight. We are the Killian Middle School Band, and I'd like to introduce you to the people on stage. On your far right is our Assistant Director, Miss Claire Pittman. After that, I can't see them, should be piccolo player Emily Park, flute player Carolyn Yu, oboe Sharon Bay, clarinet Katie Farrell, French horn Andy San Luis, bass trombone Jackson Fowers, and tuba Jada Williams. How about a round of applause for them? In our audience, I'd also like to recognize our principal, Mrs. Deanne Angonia, who's in our audience. And also, if any of the parents in the audience could stand and be recognized.
Students from Hebron and Marcus High Schools recently earned several state awards at the 2018 Texas Academic Decathlon. With a perfect score, Hebron High School senior Debbie Kim received gold in literature. Junior Brendan Glasscock claimed silver in math and social science. And senior Jordan Springer won bronze in literature. Hebron's ACDEC team is led by coaches Donna Friend and Travis Zuber. Marcus High School junior Sai Ramesh achieved more than 9,000 points, claiming an overall second-place scholastic finish, earning a $2,500 scholarship. In addition, Ramesh received gold in literature, earning a perfect score in this category, music and economics, silver in math and social science, and bronze in science. In addition, MHS junior Chloe Agus won gold in speech with a perfect score and silver in language and literature. Marcus ACDEC team is led by coaches Kelly Suttereth and Karen Lowell. For nearly a year, these students diligently worked to immerse themselves in learning their respective subjects and participated in 3 qualifying competitions to compete at the state level. Academic Decathlon is a 10-event competition that includes math, literature, music, economics, science, art, social science, speech, interview, and essay. Congratulations, ACDEC students!
Good evening. I'm Donna Friend. Thank you, sir. One of the coaches from Hebron High School, and I'd like to introduce our students. First, we have junior Brendan Glasscock. Brendan's our highest scorer ever in Hebron High School history, and he's only a junior, so he has another year to beat 9,200 points. Next to him is senior Jordan Springer and senior Debbie Kim, and these two are the third and fourth highest scoring students in Hebron High School history, and they're only third and fourth by 1 point. There's 1 point difference in their total scores. So we were really impressed. We thought maybe they could score exactly the same. But we're super proud of them this year because this was also our best team ever in Hebron history, and it was a really great year. And we also got to get props to Marcus because it was a super competitive year between us, and we enjoyed it very much, and we look forward to the 60s for next year. And my co-coach, too, is Mr. Zuber, Mr. Travis Zuber, who's the best co-coach I ever had. And we'd like to recognize Mr. Finch, who always supports us for everything. And we have a couple sets of parents here, the Springers, if you guys would stand up, and Mr. Glasscock. We have the best parents. They travel everywhere with us and support us, so we appreciate them, too.
Good evening. I'm Karen Law with Marcus High School, and I would like to introduce, short people, 2 of our juniors who did fantastic this year. Chloe Agus with a perfect score in speech, and, of course, Sai Ramesh. And we're very proud of Sai for being the number 2 overall B in the state of Texas. So, congratulations. Mr. Shaverman, could you come up with us, please?
Are there parents of the Marcus group? All right.
She was being a little modest. Donna Friend was also named the Texas Academic Coach of the Year this year at state meet. So.
Marcus High School seniors Brody Robertson and Kirsten Hahn won first place for their photo essay at the 2018 Texas State German Contest held in San Marcos, Texas in February. The essay illustrated a winter break road trip to Memphis, Tennessee, which was completely narrated in German. Before claiming first at state, the duo won first place at the region contest and also at Winterfest in Fort Worth, Texas. Both students have been active members in the National German Honor Society since 2016, with Kirsten holding the president position since August 2016, and Brody serving as president of the German Club since August of 2017. Together, they have helped organize and attend several German events locally and internationally. Glückwünsche, Brody and Kirsten. LISD is proud of you.
Guten Abend. Okay, so this is Kirsten Hahn. She is in German 5 and a senior. And Brody Robertson, he's in German 6 and also a senior. So I've known these two for the last 3 years. They started as German 1s as sophomores, and so I've really gotten to know them in 3 years for an hour and a half every day. And now they'll be graduating. I'm really proud of their achievements and their accomplishments.
National PTA announced Marcus High School Principal Gary Schaeferman and Liberty Elementary School Principal Timothy Greenwell as the latest recipients of the National PTA's Life Achievement Award, the highest honor given to PTA members and leaders. The National PTA Life Achievement Award recognizes a person who lives out his or her commitment to children on a daily basis and tirelessly advocates for children's education, health, and well-being. Since 2008, Mr. Schaeferman has served more than 25,000 students as the principal of Marcus High School. He shares his passion for educating children through collaboration with other educators on how relevant and meaningful professional development experiences support achievement of campus and district goals. Mr. Greenwell prides himself on setting a positive tone for his school and in motivating stakeholders through collaboration of the details and decision-making about the teaching and learning and the activities and events, providing authentic life experiences and creating opportunities for lasting memories. Mr. Greenwell serves on the Texas PTA Board of Directors as a Director at Large and is slated to be the Texas PTA Secretary for the 2018 through 2020 term. Mr. Schaeferman and Mr. Greenwell both received their awards at the LISD Council of PTA's Founders Day celebration in February. Congratulations, gentlemen. LISD is proud of you.
Good evening. My name is Andy Plunkett. I'm one of the assistant chiefs for LISD, and on behalf of the LISD administration, we are extremely proud of both of these principals, Mr. Schaeferman and Mr. Greenwell, and we couldn't be prouder of your accomplishments. Congratulations. I know we have PTA members from Marcus and Liberty here. Come on up.
PTA folks. And
Mom.
Each year, the University Interscholastic League names 16 of its best UIL sponsors across Texas as its UIL Sponsor Excellent Award winners. This year, the Colony High School's theater director, Dwayne Craig, was named as one of these outstanding award winners. Mr. Craig has led the theater department at TCHS for the past 20 years. He has also coached the school's UIL academic team for 4 years. He has successfully led his students to a total of 6 state championships in UIL's one-act play, most recently in 2017. Excellent award winners are selected by a panel of judges in the areas of academics, athletics, and music from nominations submitted by school principals and superintendents across the state. The award identifies and recognizes outstanding sponsors who enable students to develop and refine their extracurricular talents to the highest degree possible. And Mr. Craig's teaching mission goes way beyond this, as he is passionate that his students grow as adults who can practice empathy and be responsible members of society. To recognize his achievement, Mr. Craig will receive $1,000 and a symbolic memento from the UIL. Congratulations, Mr. Craig. LISD is fortunate to have a teacher like you. This school year.
Good evening. I'm Tim Baxter, the principal of the Colony High School, and it is such a privilege to introduce Dwayne to you this evening. Mr. Craig has just, as you heard, done amazing things for the theater department at the Colony. Just in the last 3 years alone, we've seen 2 state championships and a state runner-up appearance under Mr. Craig's leadership. And, you know, he does this by creating a culture of belief in our students that they can do anything they set their minds to, and also not settling for anything but their very best. And if you ever are able to see one of their shows, you truly see this in action in all that they do. So we are so proud of Mr. Craig. We have with us also this evening his wife, Rhonda Craig. If you'll stand up and be recognized. So please help me again recognize Dwayne Craig. We're very proud of you, Mr. Craig.
Let's give one more round of applause to our students and our staff for their great accomplishments. Okay, I didn't get any cards, so was there anyone wanting to address the board tonight? Okay, we'll move on to information items. Hedrick Elementary School continued stipend. Dr. Bonner?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Cox, board members, appreciate the opportunity to bring this item to you again this year as follow-up to last year's. The Hedrick Elementary School continuity item is an item that was brought to you and approved last year following the bond passage, whereby the Hedrick Elementary School campus would be retired. The effort was to ensure some continuity of staff as that process took place. You can see in the item that you approved a stipend of $1,500 per year for professional staff and $750 a year for instructional support staff, which will be paid at the end of the year. For the first year, which is the 17-18 school year, we are going to pay that after the conclusion of the year. Anyone that has worked there the entire year would be paid that entire amount, and anyone that joined us mid-year and concludes the year will be paid a prorated amount based on the number of days served. The item before you tonight is an information item, part of the three-touch process to introduce this as a possible item for your approval later on in the spring.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. District staff summer hours revision. Dr. Bonner?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. This item, just a point of clarification on the title. This is a revision to our normal operating hours during the school year. It's not a second item that's been brought to you this evening. It details the summer hours for administrative offices in Lewisville ISD, And you'll note the beginning times, that'd be the week of June the 11th. With our shortened summer, with school's earlier start, it would be 6 weeks of Friday closures, and then some additional days on July 4th and 5th. And office operating hours would resume as per normal on July 23rd. The rationale or the reason for this is to save a little bit of money on utility costs during the summer, and we will obviously work with construction crews, food service, technology, et cetera, to work out schedules during the amended summer.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. TASB Board Policy Update 110 Legal. Mr. Crownover.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. TASB recently gave us this update based on the 85th first called legislative session, the special session after the initial one. And it's just a handful of legal updates. As you guys know, the legal updates are just recitations of the law. It's not something that you can or need to approve, so this is just here for your information this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crownover. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Announcements by the board president. 2017 board members, each year we have to give the training hours. The board members are required a number of training hours, and I just wanted to read the total for each member. So Angie Cox, 64.5. Christy Hassett, 90 hours. Tracy Miller, 28 hours. Jenny Prosnick, 71. Catherine Sells, 74.25. Tricia Sheffield, 50.25. And Kronda Timish, 59.25. So I think you can see the board spends a lot of time and work continuing education and keeping involved in the district. So thank you to all the board members. Okay, and they've all exceeded their hours, obviously. Okay, discussion items. Monthly financial report, including the bond report and monthly investment report. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. The financial statements before the board tonight is as of the 6 months ended February 28th. This is the midpoint in the fiscal year. And I think the thing that's worthy of note on these financial statements is that as of the end of February, we'd collected about 98%. It's actually 97.8% of the budgeted tax revenues. And so from here on out throughout the year, we'll be spending down a lot of that tax revenue as based on the tax calendar. That's when it's due, and then it funds our operations really until about 3 months into the next fiscal year. So we've had a good tax collection period, and so we're grateful for that. And certainly the bond reports for the remaining 08 funds and the 2017 funds, along with the investment report, are attached. And certainly be happy to answer any questions the board might have.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Ball? Okay. Open enrollment policy, FDA local, Dr. Coburn.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. We brought this to you last month as a discussion item surrounding the enrollment policies of some of our neighboring districts and whether or not a reciprocal type of policy could be put into place. We've had some conversations about language that we can bring forward to you that would grant the superintendent the authority to approve or deny transfers based on administrative regulations. And that's the language that we've kind of given to you for consideration at this time, and I'll take any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dr. Coburn. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you. Action item, consider adoption of an order authorizing the reissuance of unlimited tax refunding bonds series 2018, establishing sales parameters, authorizing the execution of a bond purchase agreement and an escrow agreement, approving an official statement, and enacting other provisions relating to the subject. Mr. Ball?
Thank you, Madam President. This item has been discussed by the board at the work session. I wanted to take a moment and kind of recount over the last 2 to 3 years the program we've been on, which is really a part of our debt reduction strategy that the board has provided leadership for us to undertake. And if you'll recall, in 2016, we did a refunding transaction, saved the district about $50 million in future debt service payments on our voter-approved bond debt. Then in 2017, we actually had 2 refunding transactions. The first one saved about $11 million in future debt service requirements, and the second one saved about $5 million. And there really are three factors that influence the timing and the availability of a refunding transaction, and those are the call dates, the market interest rates, and the federal tax law constraints. And as I'm certainly grateful to Hilltop Securities, the district's financial advisors, and they have led us in monitoring these opportunities that come before us. And as the call dates approach, as the federal tax law allows, and as the interest rate market creates a beneficial environment, they recommend to us these refundings and have saved us, really those I just recited, have saved us a total of $66 million in future debt service on our voter-approved bond that's outstanding. And tonight's recommendation is a transaction that would combine, it's a little bit unique in any of these others that I've mentioned. Tonight's recommended transaction the district would contribute $10 million toward a total refunding transaction of about just under $20 million. And so it would directly reduce outstanding debt by $10 million, and then it would provide net present value savings on the refunded bonds, or the portion of the bonds that aren't retired, of about $1.8 million. And so we believe it contributes toward the goal of debt reduction by the immediate contribution of the $10 million. And it also, because the interest rate is lower, we're projecting a rate of about 2.57%, and the outstanding bonds that would be refunded have an average rate of about 4.45%. So it lowers our interest costs, and it reduces debt directly by contributing $10 million out of fund balance. And so those all are dependent on interest rates, and we did provide the board with a interest rate sensitivity analysis, which shows that for every 10 basis points of change in the market interest rate, it impacts that savings by about $113,000. And the question was raised by very astute board members at the work session last week that what about the fees? Would the fees be lower if we combine this proposed refunding with a new money bond sale later in the summer? And we did an analysis of that, and it's about $25.4 thousand in savings to combine the transactions, and it would take about a 3 basis point move in interest rates to absorb that. And so in a rising interest rate market, it makes sense to us to recommend that we move forward with this refunding transaction and take advantage of, as they say, a bird in the hand versus one in the bush later on. And so we are recommending that we move forward with this transaction. We did discuss very briefly last week at the work session our recommended underwriting team. Since that time, there have been some developments take place that have caused us to want to make a change in that recommendation. We had talked about BOK Financial and RBC Capital Markets being our underwriting team. And since last Monday night, we've learned that our primary contact with BOK Financial is leaving that firm, and so we feel like it doesn't make sense for us to recommend that they be the lead underwriter on a deal that's really coming up very soon when there's been such a transition in their firm. So the recommendation tonight is that the board approve this transaction and that the underwriting team be comprised of RBC Capital Markets and Piper Jaffray. And it is our recommendation that the board approve this refunding as presented. We do have a team of representatives from Hilltop. John Martin is actually on a milestone anniversary trip, I believe, with his bride, and they've been planning this trip for almost a year, so he could not be here tonight. I'm sure he would love to be here. But he has sent some very capable representatives, Eric Maha and Joey Durker are here representing Hilltop, and also Mr. Chuck Kobdish is here representing our bond counsel, McCall, Parkhurst, and Horton. And so certainly any of us would be happy to answer any questions the board might have about this proposed refunding.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Does anyone have any questions?
No question, just more of a comment. I won't be supporting this because I personally have given direction to staff regarding who we use in these transactions, and I cannot approve the firms that we've chosen.
Any other questions? Okay, do we have a motion? Sheffield?
I move to approve the adoption of an order authorizing the issuance of unlimited tax refunding bond, Series 2018, establishing sale parameters, authorizing the execution of a bond purchase agreement and an escrow agreement, approving an official statement, and enacting other provisions relating to the subject as recommended by administration.
That's a motion by Ms. Sheffield. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Hassett. All in favor? That's Ms. Hassett, Ms. Timish, Ms. Cox, Ms. Sheffield. All opposed? Mr. Miller, Ms. Sells, Ms. Prosnick. 4-3. Motion carries. Consider approval of renewal of RFP 238915 food service management contract. Mr. Ball.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. This item also was discussed last week at our work session. This is the renewal of the contract with Aramark. This contract would provide for a guaranteed return of $1,231,885 for the 2018-19 contract year, and it's certainly our recommendation that the board approve this contract.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. Does anyone have any questions? Someone like to make a motion? Ms. Sells?
I move to approve the renewal of the food service management contract with vendor Aramark Educational Services, LLC, as recommended by administration.
It's a motion by Ms. Sells. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Prosnick. All in favor? 7-0. Motion carries. Okay, the next item has been pulled. So consider approval of school start times 2018-2019. Dr. Coburn.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. This is the third time around on this, the final step in the cycle. Brought this to you in March the 5th and the 19th. The culmination of the work of the group that got together, considered all the factors in school start times, balancing resource stewardship with the protection of instructional minutes. The responses, the 13,000 community responses, 2,000 student responses on the survey that went out, we were actually able to find 5 minutes inefficiencies as opposed to this year's schedule, which is a nice thing. The middle school time that's recommended is 5 minutes earlier at the beginning and end of the day than what we currently have. 8:55 to 4:10 is what is the time we are bringing to you for approval this evening. That was based on finding bus route efficiencies and efficiencies in the way we serve students breakfast, because two things we got to make sure we do is get them there and get them fed every day in time for class to begin. Also, our middle schools, Leanne Lewis, our assistant chief in charge of middle schools, working closely with middle school principals as she has been throughout the year, understanding the need that our community has for that middle school to be accessible early in the morning and for that time to be of value to the students. We've put a lot of things in place this year. The middle school principals have done a nice job. I got a couple of them right here, and your colleagues as well. So I think it's worth bragging on them as they've tried to meet the needs of their community. But also we are looking at some more innovative things that we can do. Can we bring virtual learning forward? Can we bring 0-hour type of things, the things that many of you had brought forward to us and that many folks in the community had brought to you. So it is about that valuing of instructional time. We've already spoken with athletics about making sure we can value that time at the end of the day as well. One positive, we feel like that paradigm shift kind of to the morning might even get some middle school students home with their families a little bit more often at the end of the day, which wouldn't be a bad thing either. So those are the times we are bringing forward to you.
Thank you, Dr. Coburn. Does anyone have any questions? Someone like to make a motion? Oh, Ms. Sheffield?
We've not voted on this in the past, so can just
Yes,
understanding that.
I actually asked for that to be an item on here just because we had been discussing it, and I just felt like, okay, we've gone through all the motions with having discussion. Why wouldn't we just vote on it? I mean, why bring it to the table for information if the board isn't going to have an opportunity to have a decision in the process?
And Ms. Sheffield, I will tell you, when Ms. Cox and I discussed this, we had that discussion that it hadn't been done. Of course, we hope not to bring this back to the board for a long, long time, and so I guess then we'll cross that bridge again as far as the process.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve the recommended start time for school year 2018-19 as presented by administration.
Motion by Ms. Hassett, second by Ms. Timish. All in favor? 7-0, motion carries. Consider approval of a joint election agreement and contract between Lewisville ISD and Denton County Elections Administration for May 5th. Would someone like to make a motion? Sheffield?
I move to approve the joint election agreement and contract for election services between Lewisville ISD and Denton County Elections Administrator for the May 5th, 2018 general election.
It's a motion by Ms. Sheffield. Do we have a second?
If I could step in. She said Denton. I believe the motion's Tarrant.
No,
This one's Denton.
There's two.
Just like I said, there's a Denton first and then Tarrant. Don't forget about Tarrant later, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Crownover. I'm glad you're paying attention. That's a second by Ms. Hassett. All in favor? Now, consider approval of joint election agreement and contract between Lewisville ISD and Tarrant County Elections Administration for May 5th, 2018 trustee election. Would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve the joint election agreement and contract for service election services between Lewisville ISD and Tarrant County Election Administration for the May 5th, 2018 general election.
It's a motion by Ms. Hassett. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Sheffield. All in favor? 7-0, motion carries. Consider approval of naming facilities policy CW local. Dr. Rogers.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. As we've discussed several times, board policy CW local allows us to name or rename facilities, allows the board to do that. And we, as we are trying to move all administrative offices into this area, this strip shopping center, as we've talked about, we just believe it provides more clarity to call this facility Lewisville ISD Administrative Center. As I mentioned, I have talked to the Bolin family, and they were very appreciative that, one, I'd reach out to them, but two, that we would use William T. Bolin's name as part of our professional learning center, which will be where Thrift City is once that's vacated. So we'd ask for your consideration.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Does anyone have any questions? Someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve the renaming of Bolin to Lewisville ISD Administrative Center as presented by administration.
The motion by Ms. Timish. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Prosnick. All in favor? 7-0, motion carries. Consent agenda items. Is there any items that need to be pulled for consideration? Yes.
Okay. Ms. Cox, I move the board approve the oh my goodness, I'm going to start crying at agenda. I move the board approve the consent agenda items as recommended by administration with the, and no exceptions. So that's it.
And that's all she wrote. Second by Ms. Sells, motion by Ms. Timish. Ms. Sheffield, all in favor? That's 7-0, motion carries. Okay, if there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 7:45. But we will now go into closed session at 7:45.
You'll need to read
Yeah.
this.
Where is it?
This, here.
Okay.
Just a second, Chuck. Just a second, Chuck.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is to consider a Level 3 student discipline appeal. If at any time the board is to hear a matter involving a student, the matter must be heard in closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 5510821. We will therefore move into closed session at this time to hear the Level 3 student discipline appeal. The time is now 7:45. on record for open session. Having returned from closed session, the time is now 8:55. Does any board member have a motion regarding the student discipline appeal?
Ms. Cox, I move to uphold the Level 2 student discipline decision of administration.
Okay, that's a motion by Ms. Prosnick. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Miller. All in favor? That's 7-0. Motion carries. Okay, there's no further business. This meeting is adjourned. The time is now 8:56.
Catherine, you're the winner at 8:50.